It is September 28th, 1987, in Omaha, Nebraska. A boy is born who grows up restless, sharp, and fearless. His name is Terence Crawford. Today, he stands as one of the most complete fighters of his generation, an elite switch hitter, able to dismantle opponents from either stance, orthodox or southpaw. The first man of the four-belt era to reign as undisputed champion in not one, but two divisions, light welterweight and welterweight. But Crawford's life is never only about belts or knockouts. His story begins in North Omaha, a place where opportunity is scarce and trouble always close. In the gym he learns discipline, in the streets he learns toughness. Years later he returns to that same neighbourhood, co-founding the B&B Sports Academy with his longtime trainer and friend, Brian Bomac McIntyre. Together they create more than a boxing gym. They build a refuge, a place for young people to find role models, structure and hope. The streets of North Omaha hum with a quiet tension. The city is alive, but it is rough, and opportunity comes in small packages. In a modest home on the north side, a baby boy enters the world on September 28th, 1987. Terence Crawford. From the beginning, there is something in him that refuses to stay small. He grows up under the watchful eyes of a hard-working family, but the neighbourhood is never far from danger. Around him, boys and men are tested early, by circumstance, by chance, by the streets themselves. For Crawford, every day becomes a lesson in observation, in reading people, in surviving. He watches, he learns, and he adapts. Even as a child, he has a restless energy. He is quick with his hands, quick with his mind. When other kids play, he shadows them, watching their movements, mimicking, refining. Boxing finds him almost by accident, yet it feels natural. A rhythm, a puzzle he wants to solve. In the local gyms, amidst the smell of sweat and leather, he discovers discipline. The mitts, the jump ropes, the heavy bag. They are not just tools, they are a language one he learns fluently. But North Omaha is not just a gym. It is a world that tests toughness in ways a ring never could. The streets teach lessons that cannot be boxed out. Crawford faces challenges that would break others, scarcity, exposure to violence, moments that remind him how fragile life can be, and yet he persists. He learns to navigate, to calculate risk, to act decisively. The boy, growing into a fighter, understands early. Survival requires focus, and excellence requires sacrifice. Amid all this, small victories plant the seeds of something larger. A punch lands just right. A sparring partner is outmaneuvered. Coaches notice, whispers spread, this kid has potential. Not just potential, but fire, intelligence, adaptability. The kind of intelligence that turns instinct into strategy, that turns raw talent into something unstoppable. Even as Crawford trains, he keeps one eye on his city. Omaha is shaping him as much as he is shaping himself, and in this balance, the foundation of a champion is quietly laid. The gym is alive with motion. Gloves snap against bags, the hum of jump ropes fills the air, and coaches bark instructions over the rhythm of feet on canvas. Terence Crawford is here again, barely a teenager, eyes sharp, mind sharper. Every punch, every movement, every stance is practiced with an intensity that seems almost unnatural for his age. Outside the gym, Omaha continues its lessons. Streets brimming with energy, curiosity and danger shape him as much as the coaches do. It is a city that teaches vigilance. It is a city that whispers, sometimes shouts, survive or pay the price. He begins competing in amateur bouts, quickly gaining recognition. The ring becomes a place of clarity, a place where skill, timing and heart dictate the outcome, not luck or circumstance. Wins feel good, but the losses, the stumbles teach him more. He studies, adapts, evolves. Each day, the boy sharpens into the fighter he is becoming. And then it happens. One evening in 2008, just outside the familiarity of home, life and death collide in a single. terrifying instant. A stray bullet finds him, grazing his head. Pain explodes. Blood fills his vision. Time slows. The ordinary world, the streets, the city, the night, contracts to a single, terrifying focus: survival. He falls, stunned, shaken, and utterly aware of his own vulnerability. In that moment, fear floods every nerve, every cell. The reality of mortality presses down. This is no sparring session. This is no controlled fight. This is life on the edge. The world he has been navigating cautiously now reminds him, every choice matters. Every path can carry consequence. For Crawford, the bullet is a reckoning. It terrifies him, but more importantly, it clarifies. He begins to see that every moment wasted in doubt, distraction, or wrong decision is a moment that could cost him everything. From this brush with death, something hardens inside him. Resolve, discipline, focus, and a new perspective on the life he wants to lead. The streets, the gyms, the fights, all remain, but now the stakes are crystal clear. Every jab, every feint, every drill, every fight carries weight far beyond a win or a loss. Life itself has stamped its urgency on him. From fear grows purpose. From near death grows a fighter who understands the preciousness of every opportunity, every moment in the ring, every choice on and off the canvas. Crawford rises, bloodied but alive, heart pounding, mind burning with clarity. The boy who trains relentlessly, who studies every movement, who anticipates every strike, now fights not just for glory, but for life, for control, for mastery of destiny. That night marks a pivot. Fear becomes focus, survival becomes strategy, and Omaha's streets continue their lessons. But this time Crawford is listening with full attention. This is the spark. This is the moment that terrifies and clarifies in equal measure. From this night forward, the path to greatness is clear. Every fight, every challenge, every title chase flows from this crucible. The near-death experience does more than scare him. It shapes him, steels him, and lights the fire that will carry him through decades of battles inside the ropes. The lessons of survival now sharpen his awareness. He moves like someone who has been tested. Eyes scanning, body coiled, heart steady. He feels both the weight of his past and the potential of his future pressing down. Inside the gym, the world is different, yet no less intense. The smell of leather and sweat, the steady thump of the heavy bag, the slap of mitts. It's almost hypnotic. Here, fear becomes fuel. Pain becomes progress. Crawford steps into the ring with a seriousness beyond his years. Coaches shout instructions. Fellow fighters circle like predators and prey. But Crawford sees beyond the chaos. He sees patterns, timing, openings, mistakes. He learns not just to fight, but to think, to anticipate, to dominate with precision. Every punch is deliberate. Every feint is calculated. Every stance, every step, every shift between orthodox and southpaw is measured. He experiments, he adapts, he refines. The boy who once learned caution on the streets now learns mastery in the ring. Amateur bouts follow. Tournaments, local shows, regional championships. Each fight is a new puzzle, a test of body and mind, a chance to prove that survival is no longer enough. Now, excellence is the goal. Even outside the gym, the rhythm of preparation dominates his life. Days are measured by workouts, sparring sessions, running through Omaha's quiet streets before dawn. Nights are for strategy, watching footage, studying opponents. Every meal, every rest, every decision is part of a larger plan. The streets, once a place of danger, now serve as a proving ground, a path to something greater. The near-death experience lingers like a shadow in every movement. It reminds him that the stakes are high, that fortune is fleeting, and that discipline is survival. It's this combination, innate talent, relentless work ethic, and an almost supernatural focus forged in crisis, that sets Crawford apart. The boy who once feared bullets now moves with the confidence of inevitability. Every opponent in the gym, every drill, every minor victory is preparation for a world stage. By the time Crawford turns professional, the transformation is complete. The streets, the gyms, the fear, the fire, all converge into a fighter who is not just strong, not just skilled, but almost unbreakable. Each fight in the pro ranks becomes another chapter in a story that began long before the lights of Las Vegas or Madison Square Garden. It is a story rooted in Omaha, honed in adversity, and driven by a clarity born of near death. This is the crucible of Crawford's rise. The boy from North Omaha, tested in every way, stepping into the ring to claim a destiny that has been forged, hammered, and sharpened since the moment he first laced up gloves. Sneakers silent on the pavement, muscles coiled, senses alert. The memory of 2008, the grazing bullet, the sudden terror, courses through him like a warning and a fuel. Life can end in an instant, but fear does not paralyze him. It sharpens him, and then the name emerges. Bud. It is not just a nickname. It is a reflection of his persona, grounded, unassuming, but quietly explosive. Trainers, sparring partners, and opponents begin to use it. It carries respect, a hint of awe. In the gym, in the streets, in the ring, Bud begins to define himself, not by fear, not by circumstance, but by skill, strategy, and a growing reputation. Early professional fights cement his identity. Each victory, each adjustment, each well-placed counter becomes a brushstroke in the portrait of the fighter he is becoming. And now the world begins to take notice. Crawford is no longer just a talented kid from the north side of Omaha. He is Bud. The streets of Glasgow are alive with anticipation. Neon lights flicker off rain-slicked pavements. Fans swarm the arenas, their voices echoing through narrow alleyways, spilling into pubs and onto the streets. Somewhere in the city, Terence Crawford moves quietly, focused, mind sharp, muscles coiled. He has travelled far from the foggy streets of North Omaha, from the gyms and alleys that forged him. Tonight, he steps into a ring that the world is watching. Cameras flash. Ringside seats are filled with eyes hungry for history. Crawford walks through the tunnel, Bud now fully formed, moving with a quiet confidence that belies the pressure. He feels it all, the roar of the crowd, the hum of the lights, the weight of the journey from streets to world stage. He is calm, precise, tuned to every sense. Ricky Burns waits across the ring, a champion in his own right, experienced, confident, a home crowd behind him. But Crawford sees through the tension, the bravado. He studies Burns, anticipates the rhythm, the timing. He dances lightly on the balls of his feet, bouncing, shadowing, probing. The bell rings. The first round is tentative, testing, measuring. Crawford moves seamlessly between stances, orthodox and southpaw, keeping Burns guessing. Jabs snap like pistons, hooks swing with intention, counters land perfectly timed. The crowd reacts, but Crawford exists in a bubble of focus. Every punch, every feint, every movement is deliberate, a message. I am here and I am ready. By the third round, Crawford begins to dictate the fight. Burns attacks, but Crawford anticipates. The Omaha-trained instincts, the lessons from near death and countless gym hours guide him. He slips punches, angles, and counters with precision. The crowd begins to murmur. Whispers grow. The realization spreads. Something extraordinary is happening in this ring tonight. Round after round, Crawford sharpens the narrative. Burns lands punches, but Crawford responds faster, cleaner, more calculated. Each strike tells a story. By the later rounds, it is clear. The boy from Omaha is no longer a novice in a foreign city. He is a champion in the making, commanding the rhythm, controlling the fight, turning experience into inevitability. The final bell sounds. Crawford's hand is raised. The victory is decisive. He has travelled from the foggy streets of North Omaha, survived bullets, honed himself in the crucible of gyms and amateur bouts, and now stands undefeated, a world champion on foreign soil. The crowd erupts, but Crawford barely hears it. He feels only the culmination of years of struggle, focus, and relentless discipline. Bud has arrived. Terence Crawford has stepped fully into the world stage. And yet, the story is far from over. This victory is the first stone in a path that will carry him through multiple divisions, multiple titles, and eventually into the rarefied air of undisputed greatness. The Glasgow ring, the first world title around his waist. From lightweight to light welterweight, every division he climbs, every opponent he faces adds another layer. Each unification fight, each defence, each victory over seasoned champions is a statement. Bud does not stumble. Bud does not falter. He adapts, he anticipates, he dominates. The boy who once feared bullets now walks through rings of fire, unflinching, precise, inevitable. By the time he stops Errol Spence Jr., by the time he claims undisputed status in 2 divisions, history begins to whisper his name. Omaha watches, the gyms buzz with pride, and the world slowly recognizes the fighter forged in the crucible of adversity. Bud is no longer just a nickname. It is legend in motion, a testament to years of sacrifice, discipline, and an unbreakable will. And now the horizon shifts. The bell has yet to ring, but the world already holds its breath. This is the journey of Terence Crawford, from streets to ring, from survival to supremacy, from bud to legend, and now the fight that could define it all.